Welcome to Salt Pig. We are two cookbook writers chatting about the ups and downs of actual home kitchen life. Lucas, what are we talking about this week?
This week we are getting kind of deep on seasonal produce, home gardening, the pleasures of, all the delicious produce that is starting, well, not really arriving yet, but soon arriving where we live in New York, and just how fun it is to cook with this stuff. Some of the hits, the misses, the nightmares from your garden.
Plenty of nightmares from the garden. You can find new and old episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out on Substack too at saltpig.substack.com, where you can sign up for our weekly newsletter now. Also, if you don't mind doing us a huge favor, if you're enjoying the podcast, could you please rate or review us on whatever platform you're listening on? It makes a really big difference in terms of visibility, and we so appreciate it. All right, let's get started.
So I wanted to tell you about this thing that I read online earlier this week.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you heard about this, but in New Zealand, which I've been very fortunate, I've been to New Zealand, and they have a very, very rich dairy culture because there's all these cows that, are sort of all over the country, and they make these beautiful cheeses and beautiful milk, and they're known for this great ice cream. But recently, American butter has made its way into New Zealand grocery stores, and it's not marked very well as being like non-domestic butter in New Zealand. And people are like wising up to the fact because they're like, why is it this color? Why is it like light? Why does it taste
so
like this? It's not creamy. It's not, it doesn't have that like rich texture. It's kind of like breaks apart, which is because it's got like a lower fat content. And it's becoming a thing online that people are like outraged by the fact that this American butter is making its way to their New Zealand grocery stores. I don't know. I just wanted to chat about it with you because I thought, first off, it's so funny because like I know how good their butter, and every time I've been to like Europe or traveled, I'm like, wow, the butter is just like so much better. It's really like, you think of it like cheese.
I know.
Rather than as this just like pantry staple thing that you used to make scrambled eggs. It's like this beautiful rich color and this gorgeous flavor and texture.
I know. It makes such a huge difference. I've actually started, it makes me sound it's really absurd, but I've started buying Kerrygold butter at Costco
me
we
too.
use just for toast.
Okay.
It's like exclusively toast butter. And then I have like whatever, like, buy them in bulk, like salted butter sticks that we use for like cooking, baking, everything else. But I'm like, if I'm just going to spread it on toast, I'm like, I'm using the good stuff. And it really does. It's really good. It's really like a small upgrade that like really makes a difference.
Oh my God. I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it too, because it was, maybe this will lead in a little bit to our chat today, but how I was, sorry, this is going to be a roundabout way of saying this, but I also read this article this week called like the enshittification of food. And I don't know if you know this term. It's like a Cory Doctorow term, and he calls like it, he coined this term in the context of the internet, and how like when social media and when the internet was first getting started, it presented all this promise and all these people were like all this original work, and then slowly over time it's just been like, it's just so bad, like logging into any social media.
It's so bad. Yeah, it's fake, it's terrible, it's everything.
And so then over sort of a longer period of time, this article is arguing that food has gone through a similar process of being enshittified, where it used to be, one of the examples he uses, like in the 50s when like Hellmann's mayonnaise was first developed, it was like eggs, oil, vinegar, those were the ingredients. And now the ingredient list is like a mile long, and it has all these synthetic things in it, and it's like and then one of the other arguments of this article is that like not only is this compromising the integrity of the food, but it's changing our palates, and it's changing our understanding of like what tastes good. And so in butter, where most of us are probably buying like the $4 or $5 pound packages of butter that is like chalky white, chalky in texture, not good. That's kind of like what we are coming to prefer when it comes to butter, rather than this like rich mouthfeel and rich flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of like, I don't know, it bumps me out. And it bumps me out. And then it's just like interesting, this age that we're living in with
definitely.
the ingredients that we have access to, and like shopping at a place like Costco, or I go to Trader Joe's at least once a week. And,
Right.
and it's kind of like, it's my line of work that I need to find ingredients that are consistent and work in all these other people's kitchens. But like, if I had my way, I would be like going to the farmer's market, buying these like
Right.
craft paper wrapped logs of butter and baking and cooking and eating that exclusively. It's like I don't know. It just informs this predicament of cooking right now.
Oh, definitely. And I do find it fascinating, the idea that it's changing our palates. It's like, that reminds me of when I was whenever we were talking about when we went to Spain and got the salami platter that was like real salami. And Tom and I liked it, but even some of that, we were like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty funky," and we're just not used to something that's like. But you're like, "Yeah, it's cured meat. Like, of course, it's going to be funky. That's why people like it." So
funky,
to have
maybe a little grizzly,
yeah, exactly. But to be eating some salami from the supermarket that's like had all that removed
completely
it's sad.
Totally.
Because you want, that's you're erasing like what its essence is. So yeah.
And then you have to go through this process of like retraining your palate, and also learning and accepting and embracing the fact that like salami is not one thing, butter is not one thing,
right?
Produce is not, like
right.
To like live in the world of like living food means accepting the fact that it's not consistent across the board.
Yes.
And that's like a good thing.
Yes. Yes. And also that like eating food, sometimes you have to deal with some things that aren't that aesthetically pleasing, or they're a little uncomfortable, like dealing with raw chicken or like meat on the bone. I feel like I have a lot of friends whose families like don't want to eat meat on a bone.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because it's
sort of too much information.
Huh.
And like, it's like how people prefer, chicken breasts over any other chicken. They sort of don't want like any sinews or anything that's not just like pure unadulterated,
like the most removed from it having been a living animal.
Exactly. And I'm like, yeah, there's something great, of course, about some of those foods, about having a chicken breast that's just like, you don't have to mess around with any bones. But I'm also like, let's be real. This is meat. It comes from an animal. There's a bone involved. There's a lot of other stuff involved. Like you can't remove, it doesn't seem morally,
no,
it doesn't seem right to like totally remove it from its essence,
Yeah. And like the discomfort is kind of part of it.
Yes.
That's what gives you an appreciation for, I don't know, the privilege of eating it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's like not using rubber gloves. I'm like, yeah, no one wants to touch raw chicken, but I guess I feel like if I'm eating raw chicken, then I have to touch it. Like,
yeah.
It's like, it just doesn't seem like, it seems like you can only put so many our culture right now is so about sort of, I don't know, glossing over that stuff and putting all these barriers in place of like the real experience and the real thing to make it more palatable, both sort of literally and figuratively. And on one hand, of course, it's great to have it be more palatable, but it just doesn't seem real. I guess I'd prefer the real version.
More palatable and just like more like packageable.
Yeah.
More of this like thing that's the same every time you encounter it.
Yes. Yes.
Have you ever gone hunting? Have you ever like killed or skinned an animal or
No. And I'm sort of ashamed to say that because I do like eat meat. I feel like in a way it's almost my responsibility to have like taken it to that level. Not like every day because we live in New York City, but like, but the idea that
catch Ellie in Prospect Park with a rifle looking for the deer.
With like a bow and arrow.
Just looking for dinner.
No big deal. I know, but I do feel like I should be able to have had that experience and sort of overcome it. I find it very respectable that people still they have to make that transition of going through that difficult process. And have you?
No, I've never been hunting, and never like slaughtered a chicken or anything like
Yeah.
that. I remember I mentioned one of our last episodes going Boy Scouting.
Yeah.
And part of that involved fishing out of these streams. And I was like the first person to catch the fish, and it really was an indicator. It was like, oh my God, I'm this prodigy fisher here. And then they're like, okay, now you have to, gut it and prepare it for cooking. And I was like, and I'm done. That's the end.
Prodigy be damned.
Yeah. Well, one thing that is a little bit less squeamish is growing vegetables at home.
So true. Yeah, it's sort of the very, very acceptable version of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, Tom more than you, right? Tom's really into,
definitely more than me. I do not have a green thumb, but I do really like to reap the rewards of the garden. And I was thinking back when we first got involved, the apartment that Tom was living in had this big yard. It was like a very small apartment with a very big yard, and it was awesome. And he really grew stuff out there. He was really intent. He even had like a lawnmower. I mean, it was like literally this patch of grass that, is the size of like a New York City backyard. But he would go out there with a can of beer and mow the lawn once a week. But it was awesome. And it was the first time I had never grown any food before, and
not
always
growing
sort of
up or anything.
No, even though we had a yard, no one grew anything back there. So so it was kind of a whole new world, and it was really fun. I mean, and especially in the beginning, when we first started dating, actually, I mean, because Tom, he knows how to cook certainly, but he was more interested in the growing process than he was in the cooking process. So it was fun. I remember one of our first dates early on in our relationship. He was like, I have all this, it wasn't escarole. Oh, it was frisee. He's like, I grew all this frisee, which I was like, I wonder why, because he wasn't eating it, I don't think. But he was like, I have all this frisee. What should I do with it? And I was like, I guess we could make, for some reason, the first thing that came into my mind was to make a frisee au lardon, the French salad.
That was the first thing I thought of, too.
Yeah, I was like, frisee, I guess this. So he was like, great. So one very languorous weekend morning, we were like, oh, we'll make a frisee au lardon. Got some bacon and poached eggs and made this whole thing. And it was really fun. And I was like, oh, I think both of us were like, oh, this could work out. This is a good match.
Yeah.
Because, it's really, I mean, obviously having stuff be that fresh, makes a huge difference in the way that it tastes. But it's also, what I love about it is the challenge. The idea that, you're not just like, oh, what do I feel like cooking today? And cruising through all these, options at the store. I think it's really fun to be kind of forced to do something where it's like, oh, okay, we've got to do something with this, or we've got to do something with that, or we have a smattering of things that all need to get used up. And I love that challenge. So
that's what's great about a CSA too. If you've ever done a CSA,
I haven't ever done. I've taken people's, when they go on vacation, they'll be like, oh, do you want mine this week? And that's been really fun. I think week over week, I wonder if that would be too much.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of. I've done a few of them with different farms, and they do vary from one to the next. Some of them, it's just tons of food, and some of them, it's a smaller amount. But I feel like you would probably be a perfect person for a CSA if you enjoyed this challenge, because one week you've got a bunch of turnips,
right?
And you got to figure out something to do with them. Or turnips I remember getting tons of turnips. Well, and we would pick up the CSA box at the same time that the farmer's market was happening. And so you'd see all these beautiful tomatoes and all these beautiful cucumbers and all the really sexy summer stuff. And then you get your CSA box and it'd be potatoes, turnips, a cabbage. And I was like, oh, I wanted all the good stuff. But
any heirloom tomatoes in there?
No. But that's how I fell in love with kohlrabi as a vegetable I really love. And I had never really eaten that before. CSA.
Yeah. We used to talk about getting a CSA, and now that Tom really just continues to grow vegetables, we're kind of like, that's enough. That's sort of our CSA. But it is different because we get to choose, or I get to at least give some opinions about what he plants. Yeah. And that feels different, where I'm never got to get some turnips in there, which, I like turnips. I have very little experience eating them or cooking them. Like, what did you do with all your turnips?
These were the smaller, I can't remember what they're called, like the Japanese
yeah.
white. They kind of like look like radishes a
Yeah.
little bit. And I ate them raw a lot, or I like steamed them and put like a compound butter on them, or sometimes I just like, I remember talking to my friends Joe and JV who have a CSA, and they just like, every time they got it, like Sunday, it was like, dump it on a sheet pan, throw it in the oven, and then like we're meal prepped for the week.
Yeah.
And I got into the habit of doing that too. It's just
Yeah.
like all those root vegetables going on a sheet pan
Gotta
and
roast them off. Yeah.
roast them off all at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. What are you guys growing? Because you guys now in your new place have the roof.
Yeah. I have never, in fact, like, I remember growing up, my parents didn't really have a green thumb. And
Yeah.
I remember the task of like weeding the garden every year was just, it was such a chore out in
Yeah.
the sun. And
Yeah.
I just never enjoyed it. But now, and yeah, Vincent and I moved almost two summers ago, and now we have a dedicated roof space and some planters up there. And so I've really gotten into it. And like all
Yeah.
my social media content is gardening tips and stuff, and it's so fun and it's so rewarding. I think
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that it's all the sun makes growing stuff really easy.
Oh my gosh. I mean, a roof garden. Do you have a water source up there?
We do, yeah.
Oh,
and
that
and we
makes a
put
big
in one
difference.
of those little like watering systems,
Oh
so
my
it just kind of
gosh.
is timed to go off every day.
Oh, that's great. We had some in an old apartment of ours when we didn't have a backyard. Tom tried to grow some stuff on the fire escape, but it was like shady and, clouded by all these buildings. So it didn't really work on the fire escape. So he was like, no problem. I'll put some stuff on the roof. But there was no water source up there.
Oh, yeah.
So then it's like you have to remember to go up there with like lugging all this water, and things
Through
got,
the fire escape ladder?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
no. Actually, through the inside there was like
Okay,
a
good.
sort of emergency exit door, but the whole thing just didn't come together, and all the stuff got fried up there because there's so much sun up there, and it's like the
Yes.
roof is so reflective. I think it was just like it just got.
Yeah.
He never figured that one out.
It is crazy how with that kind of sun they do need a fair amount of water.
Yeah, but that's great if you have especially like an automatic system, because like I don't know, we've tried to do that, and even in the yard, and we probably need to just sort of throw some money at it. But we tried
These
to
things
do
are
all
not,
these-
they're really not that expensive. I think we spent like $60 on this unit, and then it gives you the timer which you attach to like the
hose.
spigot.
Yeah.
And then you have these long hoses that you can cut off and then like reattach, and you just place it's pretty simple.
Really? Okay. Oh, that's cool. So what are you growing?
Yeah. In the process of sort of reflecting on last year
Yeah.
and applying the learnings.
Yes.
Herbs were actually one of the most exciting
Yeah.
things for me because
Yeah.
I actually use a lot of herbs.
Yeah.
And even when I use them all the time, it's really hard to like use all of them when you get like a big bunch from the grocery store.
Oh, definitely.
And this way I can just go up there and like clip off exactly what I need. And I was just so amazed how they thrive. And they, like the thyme came back, the chives came back with
Yeah.
a vengeance.
Yeah,
The
chives come
rosemary's
back.
doing
Yeah.
great. Lavender.
Yeah.
I'm going to plant some parsley this weekend, and I think I'm going to plant a little bay laurel potted
that's a
shrub
fun idea.
tree thing because
Yeah.
the fresh leaves are so nice.
That would be great, and you could probably dry them.
Yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
season. That would be cool.
But tomatoes for sure. This last year we did some of these. I can't even remember what they were called. They were sort of like medium-sized tomatoes, and they were really good. But I think this year I just want a bunch of cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
So we'll do like 2 plants of those.
Yeah.
And then I want to try lettuces and cucumbers.
Yeah.
Last year I had this vision of growing a couple different types of chilies and then making a bunch of hot sauce at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then one of the plants that I mistakenly bought was banana peppers. Which-
Right. I remember you telling me about this.
Not only are banana peppers like they're kind of flavorless,
Yeah.
but I swear to God, we got at
It was
least
like went gangbusters.
500 banana peppers. I'd like trim off 10 of them one day and then come back up the next morning and there were 15 more. Like they grew so fast and so abundantly, and I never knew what to do with them. I was just like
Yeah.
throwing them into pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And they added no flavor. Don't do banana peppers. What does Tom like to grow?
We've definitely grown hot peppers because similarly, it's so fun. The idea of having a glut of hot peppers sounds kind of fun. And we've made hot sauce in the past. And although, I keep making different hot sauces, and I think maybe I should stop because I'm such a hot sauce fanatic, and I have so many hot sauces already kind of that I'm obsessed with, like that are commercial hot sauces in terms of like chili paste and, Mexican hot sauce and stuff I put on this and green ones and red ones and all this stuff. In a way, like I may not need another hot sauce that's my own. But I don't know. I should try it. I made your fermented hot sauce, which was very good.
Oh, good.
But I think I fermented it a really long time, and I think I just sort of wigged myself out about it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But I should go.
Turn a weird color?
It turned a weird color, which I know is not a big deal, and yet it's never like the one that I reach for because I think I just like weirded myself out. I think part of it's a textural thing. You know how sometimes like a homemade hot sauce it can be either like it separates really easily. Like I feel like to get like it's not an emulsification because I don't know what you'd emulsify it, but there's something about the texture of a commercial hot sauce that feels a little bit more consistent. I feel like a homemade one, it separates and you can shake it up, but it's never quite the right consistency.
Yeah, it's got like solids in it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of solids in it. I'm sure. I mean, that's fixable. But
well, you can add like a pinch of xanthan gum, which is what a lot of the commercial ones do, which is just like an emulsifier. I don't know if you would want to do that, but
interesting. Have you ever done that?
No, not at home. Only in like food styling where you need to. It is funny because I tried to make a fermented hot sauce with the banana peppers, and they were just like too watery. Yeah. It was like after it fermented, it was just like more like water release than it was the pepper part. So I just dumped that.
Oh, I do think having like serranos and jalapenos around, or like red jalapenos, definitely, like anything like that you can like pickle. Like I love a pickled pepper, like crazy. Love a pickled pepper, and such a good thing to do with them because you can fill up like you can take like 25 of them and slice them all up and pack them into a single jar.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. And once I tried actually candying, I was getting really creative, which was kind of fun. Like I candied them and made almost this like caramel with these hot peppers. It was kind of nutty, but it was also really cool. And then
winging it?
Just winging it.
What was the process?
It was it was quite a few years ago. I guess I made a caramel with just like some white sugar and maybe some water and like browned it, caramelized it, and then maybe like sort of loosened it with some vinegar and some peppers.
Interesting.
I can't remember exact. I think it was something like that, but I just made this little jar of it, and it was a very odd texture. Like I kept it in the fridge. It was a very odd texture once it like crystallized in the fridge, sort of almost like honey, but it was kind of cool to have this spicy honey. I should try that again, actually, sort of play around with it.
Yeah, that sounds really inspired.
Yeah,
really
it was fun. It was fun.
When I got into making that fermented hot sauce, one of my friends, Paul, was over. We were working together, and he had worked at like Noma and done. He's like a really skilled, not a chef anymore, but he was saying that you can take pretty much any vegetable. And he recommended, because the process of making this fermented hot sauce is you essentially make a mash where you like chop up or mince up the peppers and then weigh them and add a measured amount of salt. Usually you want between like 2 and 3% of the weight.
Yeah.
And so I had the mash on my fridge fermenting, and he was like, you can really do that with pretty much any vegetable. Add 2 to 3% of its weight in salt, and like let it ferment for sometimes just a couple of days, sometimes it's weeks. You can taste it along the way and see what you think. It needs to be like submerged in its juices.
Own juices, right?
And if there aren't enough juices, you can make a salt solution, just like 2%. Yeah, exactly. Do the same thing. Take 100 grams of water, add 2.5 grams of salt or something like that, and then cover it so that it's submerged. But then you have these like ferment, like the Fresno chilies. This is what I want to do this year.
Yes.
It's just slice them all up, pile them into a jar.
Yes.
Add that salt, let them get fermented, and then just treat that as a garnish rather than as a hot sauce or something.
Yes. I love that idea. Oh, I hope you play around with that so I can.
Yeah, I'm going to. I have a couple little ferments happening right now.
Do you?
Fermenting some salsa, which is really fun too.
Oh, because I love that flavor, especially with chilies. Like any fermented chili thing. Obviously, we've talked about Calabrian chilies, but anything in that world, gochujang's and all of that stuff. And it's fun to think, because I like the vinegar aspect of like a hot sauce, but you don't always want something with that particular tang. Sometimes you want just like a salt pickle, that kind of stuff. That's fun. I've been wanting to play around with more salts. Pickles, I guess. Is that sort of what it's called? Or
salt pickle or like ferments?
Yeah, a ferment.
I don't know. Because you get the...
Is it
I don't know. I had to like train myself to identify like that flavor of what fermentation adds. And it's almost like an effervescence and then the funk. Yeah. You see the bubbles come. You need to like burp the jars every day or so to let that CO2 out. But I totally agree. And it's like... You can make all these hot sauces and they're sitting there, but then there's something kind of fun about taking the same principle but leaving the vegetable whole, and then it's like a pickle or a garnish or just like something different to play with.
Definitely. And you think about, there's so many food cultures that have those sorts of fermented vegetables.
Like every food, like
cabbage,
this is what's made
carrots. Us. Oh, that would be really. I hope you come up with some systems for that, because I'd love to.
I think that's it. You just add salt and let it sit. Keep it submerged.
That's the only thing is I am a little freaked out by like that border. I don't feel that confident between negotiating sort of how a thing goes bad. Like, have you ever had like a roasted pepper from a store and then you take a bite of it and it's fizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's gone bad, I think.
Has it gone bad? Or has it started to ferment?
I think it started to ferment. So, but
that's
the
inedible.
Right. So maybe it's not that it's gone bad, but I think that's the gray area that I'm very uncomfortable with. But I think I need to read about it or get more comfortable with it. I don't know, because I think sometimes it means it's gone bad, and sometimes it means it's fermented, and that's great.
Well, I think that mold would be, as I understand it, if you see mold, and even sometimes it's like not even all, if it's like white mold on the surface, I've read that you can just scrape that off.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I know it is you're right. It is kind of hard. I do feel like, though, touching on what we were discussing before, the way we eat now has made us afraid of food.
I know.
And just, I know that like our lifespans were dramatically shorter, like a couple hundred years ago than they are now, but I try to imagine how, like, if sauerkraut, something that's been around for ages, and people weren't using digital scales then. They didn't have temperature-controlled spaces. They didn't have the airlocks for the jars. Yes. They were, like, doing it with their senses and, through these traditional methods that they learned. And I don't know. It can't be as complicated. Maybe it doesn't have to be that complicated.
That's right. I think that's right. I think if maybe I read about it, maybe I have to get the science a little under my belt or something. Because I do, that food is probably my favorite food, to have like a fermented vegetable. Love them. Oh, I just don't want to, I just don't feel totally confident being like in charge of it. You know?
Have you ever been a preserver of, like jarring things?
Yes, I have done that. And that also, I think it brings out this sort of exactness in me that I'm not quite, like, we've made pickles a bunch of times with homegrown cucumbers. Because, so you have not grown cucumbers before?
No, I'm so excited. That's one of my favorite vegetables. I love cucumbers.
Well, what type are you going to plant? Because I have a lot to say about growing cucumbers.
Okay, good. I'm excited. This is perfect. I want to grow. There's this farmer, like Willow something Farms at Union Square at the big farmers market here in the city, and they're kind of like Persian cucumbers. Yeah. I don't think they're actually the same variety, but they're that size. Yeah. And they're not too thick. And the skins are really thin, and they're just sort of sweet and really, really snappy. And that's what I want to grow if I can figure out what they are.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. Because, Tom has grown just sort of run-of-the-mill cucumbers. And they are, well, it's a really interesting vegetable to grow because like you can see in the way that it grows, like if you haven't watered, you're not going to have any of these problems. But like if you haven't watered it, it like gets really weird. And then when you do water it, it like expands and like it responds like very, very literally to like its
wow. And
environment.
quickly, like
very quickly, they grow really quickly. We have a lot of crazy cucumber stories about like you think you've gotten all the cucumbers and then like this was in Tom's old apartment. He once like, you know, it was the summer, he grew cucumbers, we ate them, we ate everything else. It wasn't a huge garden. I mean, it was in the backyard. The cucumbers have these really enormous leaves and they're kind of spiky. So, you know, you have to really paw around in there. No big deal. We would paw around in there. Months pass. And Tom goes back there to like clear out the garden for winter or something. And he comes back in the apartment with this thing that literally still gives me nightmares. It was huge. It was like, and it was thick and it was bright orange.
What?
And it had just like gone off the rails.
Like how, can you give some dimensions?
It was like, I'm holding up my hands, but you can't see them because they won't even like fit in the screen. It was probably like at least a foot long. But the scariest thing about it was its girth. It was just outrageous. It was outrageous. It was probably like as wide as like I literally don't know what to compare it to. It was maybe a foot around. It was insane.
So, oh my God. So like a big squash.
Like a giant squash. And the thing that traumatized me about it was that it had gone rogue. The color that it had turned from just being out there, sort of left to its own devices, it had just turned this sort of murky, parts of it were this murky green and then parts of it were this crazy orange color. And I was just like, I literally didn't even want to touch it. I was like, I don't know. It was insane.
Was it like, you know how cucumbers get really gross once they turn and or become like mushy and soft? Ugh. Was this still like taut and firm or?
I didn't touch it. So I don't know. I mean, it held itself enough for Tom to like present it to me in the house and be like, what have I found back there? Like behind a bunch of leaves. It was so horrifying. So just be careful. But that's like very conventional cucumbers.
So you guys did not slice that up?
We didn't
put it in a nice batter, turned into some kind of tempura situation? No.
Okay. No. We were like, I was like, get that thing of my nightmares out of here. But yeah, I always fantasize about having like really, like little Persian cucumbers or something like that, because I think that would be amazing. But Tom has never found
I love
those.
Kirby cucumbers too. I was thinking about that.
He's grown those, and that's been fun. We've pickled those, and that's fun to do.
What's been your biggest gardening success?
I mean, for a while, we've had a lot of success with kale, which really is fun to, like, that feels like one of those practical things from the garden where, like, especially in this old garden, I was thinking they'd like last through the winter and like keep on growing in the, in the spring and in the fall. They were like, you couldn't kill them. They were great.
Wow.
And that felt so practical because you literally could be like, what's the vegetable for dinner? And they'd be like, I'll just make some kale. Like it felt very no nonsense. In our garden now, he grows a lot of chard, which works for some reason, works really well in the garden. That's really great. Right now, because we may not be around that much this summer, he's gone all in on lettuce. So we have a lot of lettuce out there that I'm very excited
he's already
about.
Planted everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we might not be around, he's like, and he was very sad about that. He was like, maybe we should plant some lettuce, like go all in on the spring garden. Wow. So he starts it with grow lights, like in the basement.
So everything is from seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's
really impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. He's very dedicated to it. And the lettuces are actually really, I think he's growing like arugula, which is always
that's what I want to grow.
The best to have, like just to cut it and wash it and eat it is amazing.
Well, and this is the thing too. I like asparagus is one of my favorite vegetables,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to eat it kind of all year long because I like it that much.
Right.
But then I get to the farmer's market and get a bunch of that like just picked asparagus. I'm like, whoa, God, this is delicious. And so different from
Yes.
whatever the stuff is that comes from Mexico or South America or whatever. And arugula, I mean, because I eat so much salad and so many greens,
Yeah.
I get those big bins of like the baby arugula that kind of taste like wood chips, and I'm
Yes.
fine with it. And I think it's great all year
Right.
long. And then this time of year, I get some like just picked arugula. I'm like, what is this?
Nothing
It's so
better.
peppery and so good.
Nothing better.
Makes me so excited.
Yeah, it might be the best thing that Tom grows, because it is, especially because I think you can have different varieties that like the supermarket or even the farmer's market may not even carry because it's
Really?
so delicate.
Oh.
Yeah, like he planted this kind that I had never seen before. It has like sort of a bigger leaf, and it's kind of softer. The texture's a little bit softer, and the flavor's a little bit milder, but it still has that little bit of a bite. It's amazing. So I highly
And
recommend
do
doing
you guys let it grow to like mature leaves, or do you cut them when they're like? Because baby lettuces
it
are just
depends.
like like they're cut when they're really young, right?
that. Yeah. I was just saying to Tom the other day, I was like, you have to keep reminding me that there's food out there, because I'm like at the grocery store and I'm like, oh, buy some broccoli, buy some cabbage, whatever I'm sort of normally just stocking up on. And I sometimes just forget that there's stuff in the garden. So we kind of pick it when we remember it.
Okay.
And again, he's growing it for sort of the love of growing stuff. So I need to be better about trying to remember that it's out there. So we sometimes pick it, I guess, when it's young. Sometimes we pick it when it's old. Either way, fresh lettuce from the garden is like a whole different
Game changer.
product, and it's amazing.
I
You
was
do have
just
to wash
reading-
it really well.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to get a salad spinner.
You're going to have to get a salad spinner. You're going to have to get a salad spinner, and there's going to be a lot of weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
was
okay.
just reading something that fresh vegetables actually have more nutrients. Like the fresher they are, the more nutrients are in
Makes
them.
so much sense.
So all the stuff we're getting from California and wherever actually has like depleted nutrient levels.
Yes, it makes so much sense. I mean, you can kind of taste that.
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
There's something
just
like-
in the vibrancy.
Yeah, there's something really strongly flavored about stuff that just comes right out of the garden in this very pleasant way. But tomatoes are probably my favorite thing to grow.
I know. Yeah, for
Just
sure.
'cause
There's nothing like them.
There's nothing like them. And the kids
Yeah.
think it's so fun to pick. I mean, everyone loves to pick tomatoes. I mean, we all like argue over who gets to pick them.
Well, and growing them too. I learned this last year because ours grew so well. It's like, I mean, I go to the farmer's market and you end up spending $30 on a couple tomatoes because
yes.
they're really expensive.
It's
and
insane.
I mean, I appreciate that's totally valid that they're that expensive for
Right.
all the handling and all the time and all
Right.
that stuff. But when you can grow them yourself and they're like
yeah.
warm off the vine, and it's like this was just a $4 plant, and now I have all these tomatoes.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any creatures up there? No.
There's like bugs. Nothing so far that's caused any damage to the plants. I
that's
think
really
that
good.
I read somewhere that birds will get into things, and so one of the tricks is like tying aluminum foil around the like trellisy stuff. That seemed to work, but I mean, I think one of the advantages of a roof garden is that you're
that's
pretty
a major advantage.
removed from the ground
rats.
critters.
Yeah.
Rats get into the garden. I'm sure
rats
they
get
do.
into the
Yeah,
garden. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Squirrels. Yeah.
and they
They just
pillage
kind of
all
mess
your-
around. They don't really eat stuff. They just sort of ruin things. But yeah, could be worse, I guess.
I have noticed that Susan, our dog, she likes to get into the little planter boxes, and I'm like, you better stay out of that once we have our plants in there.
For real. What does she do? Can she go up there on the roof?
Yeah, I mean, it's the roof was like permitted to be.
Oh, great. Oh, so there's
It's
like
not
a
like-
ledge and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah, it's
like-
all
oh, okay.
protected.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Man.
it's amazing. It's the most amazing thing, Vincent. I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Oh, one thing that we do every year, which is really fun, is like we'll get like some basil plants, and by the end of the summer, they're really gangbusters. And then we make like pesto for the whole year, and that's that's like an annual event, and I love that.
Yes, I want to do that because the basil was crazy. That just like took off. And we should have Tom on to give some of his tips, or maybe I can just set up time to hang out with Tom.
Yeah, totally.
I want to learn all these things about how to like properly prune stuff so that it grows.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of knowledge in it.
There's a lot of knowledge in it. His grandparents were big gardeners, and he was like very much at their sort of knee doing stuff with them. So he learned a lot of that stuff. And I think it is like, I can't remember what any of the rules are, but like pruning tomatoes, I think there's all sorts of, clipping certain leaves below the fruit, and I don't know how that works.
Okay. And then like pluck in the early blooms to encourage later blooms or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. And it's and you can get the same, you can scratch the same itch with like CSAs or farmers markets or whatever, but is something really fun about like making produce, like really focusing on it in that way. You do feel like it's this precious thing, and that does make it really more
completely
delicious.
And it just cultivates an appreciation for all the work that because living in New York, I'm never going to be able to grow all my food.
Right.
It's really just kind of a hobby thing and getting some seasonal treats, but it develops a real appreciation for what goes into eating all that food that we do.
Oh yeah,
that does like actually sustain us all year long.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
What's your plan for dinner tonight? Going to have any arugula or kale or anything from the garden now that that's top of mind?
We probably should. I made this thing last night. We may just have leftovers based on your soupy orzo concept that you've talked about before. I made some white beans and cooked some ditalini in like the bean broth. I had some chicken broth that I had just made. Added some ditalini, grated in some zucchini, some Parmesan, like sauteed an onion first. It was pretty yummy. Oh, and then at the end I stirred in some pesto from last year's harvest, which I just like keep in the freezer, like little deli containers of it. And it was really good, and everybody liked it. And it truly was like a one pot meal. I mean, it was very like. It was also very satisfying use of all of these various homemade elements where I was like, get to put them all in one pot, but it was good. So
that
great
sounds
idea.
Really good. Oh, good. Yeah.
But maybe with a salad on the side.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't tried any of the stuff in the garden yet. So that will be sort of a fun day.
I just made a big pot I got these black chickpeas in my last Bean Club delivery. Have you ever had those before?
No, I've heard about them, but I've never made them.
I mean, they taste like normal chickpeas, but they're black, to me at least. Maybe there's a slight difference in flavor. That'd be interesting to do them side by side. But I cooked a bunch of them in the slow cooker, which is such a good way to cook beans. It's just like hands off, happens while you sleep. They're perfectly cooked.
Yes.
Really delicious. And so I have a bunch of those now in the fridge, and I was thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do with them for dinner tonight. Maybe something
soupy orzo.
Maybe some soupy orzo, but I'm a little worried that they're going to turn an unappetizing color with the black chickpeas.
Yeah, are they black even when they're cooked?
They're black, yeah.
Really?
And like the bean,
is the bean broth
liquor it's like black beans.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it'll be some sort of soup. I haven't figured it out yet. When in doubt, it's like I just made for breakfast. I just took some of these beans and then threw some scrambled eggs on there, put a handful of greens, and it was like, that was perfect. So maybe I'll just do that again.
That sounds great.
Okay, well, enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, you too. And we'll just talk soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Bye.